my name is Cynthia Gallardo, your favorite legacy lady. Thank you so much for being a part of this fantastic event, the Making of a Comeback Champion Summit. You are in for a real treat with all the dynamic speakers lined up in this particular summit. And thank you once again for taking the time to be here at this particular time, this particular day, to discuss your legacy, the Launch to Legacy 5-Step Blueprint. I know you could be anywhere in the world at this particular point, so I really appreciate you being here with me today. I'd like to introduce a little bit about myself as we get started. It's always important to know who you're working with, who you're listening to. So my name is Cynthia Gallardo. As I mentioned, your favorite legacy lady. Everything I do is based on legacy. I am a catalyst that empowers and inspires women entrepreneurs and business owners struggling to transform a business idea. If you take that idea to a vision, to a reality, to a profitable business by discovering their unique business DNA, your unique business DNA, to launch, build, and protect your legacy. That's right, to launch, build, and protect your legacy. So you're probably thinking, what is the outcome? What's in it for me? Well, that's a great question. Well, I want you to, and I'm sure you want to, live life to the fullest, doing what you love, and also leaving a lasting legacy. We all want to leave a positive mark or a positive footprint on those we impact on a daily basis. So you are about to discover, are you ready? The 5-step blueprint to overcome fear, overwhelm, previous failures, and living life to the fullest while building a lasting legacy. That's right, living life to the fullest while building a lasting legacy. So let's talk about just a few housekeeping things. We'll be here for about 20 minutes together to make a discussion or to discuss your legacy. And let's have fun. We want to make sure I learned so much from my 5-year-old son. He has fun doing whatever he does. Let's go ahead and have fun today as we walk through the legacy discussion. Also, one of the things I do that's very important, because what gets written down, gets done, gets accomplished, is I take notes. So if you have a notebook there around you, something that you take notes in, maybe a journal, your planner, go ahead and take some notes today, because you want to make sure you have the opportunity to go back and review anything that you may, any of the gems that you may pick up, not just from my discussion today with you, but any of the speakers throughout the summit. And then also shut off all distractions. So this time is about you. Go ahead and put your airplane on silent, or I'm sorry, your airplane. I wish we all had an airplane. Go ahead and put your phone on silent mode or airplane mode, so that we can focus on you. This is all about you. And also, if you have some water, or if you have your favorite coffee, tea, let's go ahead and get started and have fun while we're doing it, feeling relaxed as we do it. So imagine how you would feel if you could. So if you close your eyes for a moment, imagine how you would feel if you could start, launch, build, and protect a profitable business. Supplement your family's income while you're doing what you love, and also having more flexibility in your life. How would you feel if you could accomplish those things? Go ahead and write it down. How would you feel? So let's move on now, and I'll share with you my story. I was in the exact position that you're in now, thinking about how I would feel if I could do those things. So there was a particular point in my life where my husband and I, we decided to transition from employee to CEO. I decided to transition from employee to CEO. I worked in corporate America for almost 15 years. I loved what I was doing. I love inspiring and empowering individuals to be the best version of themselves. And then at a particular point, it stopped. I was let go from my job, from my career, where I'd given 100% of myself for almost 15 years. I was in fear. I felt overwhelmed. I felt like a failure at that point, because I had never been let go from any job at any point. Then I realized it's all about perspective, taking control of that situation and making sure that I worked to accomplish and achieve the goals that I wanted to. My husband and I had already been discussing becoming our own CEOs, becoming entrepreneurs. So now it was just jumping into that plan, making sure it happened. So we invested in ourselves and surrounded ourselves with other entrepreneurs who had already been there and done that. And then, based on all my experience, educational, secular experience, and just life lessons, I created the Launch to Legacy Blueprint to be able to assist you to achieve your goals or catapult forward with your legacy, launching, building, and protecting your legacy with light speed. That's right, with light speed. You launch it and you move forward at light speed. So how did I transition from employee to CEO? Well, as I mentioned, it took a process, right? It's all about the process. My husband and I are now successful serial entrepreneurs. We have the confidence. We're always working to improve our confidence, but yet we have the confidence and flexibility we originally aimed for as entrepreneurs because we invested in ourselves and the strategy, structure, support, and synergy we achieved by surrounding ourselves with other entrepreneurs allowed us to receive this particular ability and flexibility and to move forward quickly. And that's what it's about. So I have a picture here of my husband, my wonderful son. He's 5 years old now. We just love being entrepreneurs and being able to spend time and have that flexibility to spend time with friends and family. And I want you to be able to do the same as well. So today is your defining moment. That's the moment where you're at a particular fork in the road and you have to make a decision. You can either take the information and do something with it, apply it, or you can just let it go. Let it go. That's right. Not do anything with it. Just leave it in the note format. Or once again, you can apply the information. And there's a couple things that I live by, a few principles. One of those is results, not excuses. It may sound harsh, and it was actually something I shared with in corporate America when I was in grad school, through law school. It helped me in all aspects of my life. Results, not excuses. Be a problem solver and find a creative solution. Every problem has a solution. And remember, it goes back to perspective. What is our outlook on that particular situation? And also leave every interaction with the net positive. There's so many negative things out in this world. Let's make sure that every interaction we have, we leave it with a net positive. If there's a negative, you have to leave at least 2 positives to create a net positive. Because if you have a negative and a positive, well, it's neutral, right? You don't get any benefit from that. So always leave every interaction with a net positive. And also, you are the catalyst. We are the catalyst, the power of one. And then we can accomplish so much more with synergy. And I'll talk more about synergy as we move through the discussion. So this is an important step here. Step 1, we have to get started by launching into the legacy zone. What does that mean? Well, we want to keep it simple. You want to be yourself throughout the process. And as I mentioned before, you want to have fun. So I'll ask you if you could take one of those papers that you have, a favor here. Take that piece of paper and just, as you can see on the screen, there, a quadrant. Make a quadrant, 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in the first quadrant, if you could write down the word idea. That's right. And I have a little picture here on the screen. You can take a look there. You can write down the word idea in quadrant 1 or an I next to it. And then quadrant 2 will be vision. Quadrant 3 is your reality. And quadrant 4 is legacy. This is where your profitable business is housed, right? This is where you can live your legacy. So the idea is what's your passion? What are you passionate about? Write that down in number 1. And you may already have your business. It may be functioning great. What's that new business idea you have to catapult your business forward? Now you want to close your eyes and think about it. You want to be able to see it, hear it, smell it, using all your senses. Then we move into zone 3, the reality. This is where you put the metal to the pedal. This is where you put the action in place. You want to make sure you're working your business plan, the strategies in place throughout this process for reality in quadrant 3. And then you move into legacy. This is where you're able to live and enjoy your legacy, that profitable business that you've worked to establish. So let's talk a little bit more about the idea. What's your business idea? Go ahead and write that down if you haven't done so. And you can put that there in that first quadrant. Then we move to your vision. So you want to strategically create a business plan. Write it down. We won't have time to create that plan all together today, yet it's something that will get you started, the catalyst for you today. Write it down. Visualize your idea, as I mentioned earlier. You have to be able to see it, hear it, smell it. Then you want to set SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-sensitive goals. Then you need to make sure you can evaluate and readjust as needed. And you want to do that frequently. You never want to stay behind in the particular market or industry you're in. Then you form your team. Actually, throughout this process, you're already forming your team. And you want to think about the word synergy. The whole is greater than the individual parts. As I mentioned earlier, you can do a lot by yourself, the power of one. Yet think of all the things you can accomplish by including other individuals that have that particular goal in mind as well. And also you want to make sure you know your ideal client. That is so important. So now that you're in the launch to legacy zone, if you take your pencil or pen from the idea, to the vision, to the reality, to the legacy, that you can draw a Z. This is your legacy zone. This is where you're working at your best. You're making sure that everything is in alignment. So now we move on to the next piece. My common denominator that I want to share with you, my secret sauce. This is the equation I use in everything I do throughout the synergy process that I'll be discussing with you in a few moments, and also the Launch to Legacy Blueprint. So if you write this down, it's very important. DNA plus synergy equals legacy. So if you think about DNA, what comes to your mind? That's right, that double helix there, you can see it looks like a ladder. You think about deoxyribonucleic acid, but don't worry, this is not a biology class by any form. We're not going to go into the details. What I want you to pull out from that is that your DNA, you are unique. Nobody else can be you. It doesn't matter if there's a competitor out there, because nobody else can be you. You are your only authentic self. Then we think about DNA and take it a step further. Think about your business DNA. Discovering your business DNA helps you really carry your business to that next step and making it something that is long lasting, your legacy, so you can live it now and leave a lasting legacy. Then we come to synergy. As I mentioned, one of my favorite words. I first came across this word in graduate school. We had an assignment to read The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People by Stephen Covey. And I was drawn to this particular habit, synergy, because as I mentioned before, the whole is greater than the individual parts. We need to surround ourselves with a fantastic team to be able to achieve our goals at a higher rate than we could even anticipate. So if you take DNA plus synergy, it equals your legacy. That's right, your lessons learned throughout life, and also your material assets, of course. So we put all that together as part of your legacy. So as I mentioned before, your business DNA is made up of the 5 S's: strategy, structure, support, synergy, and your story. Nobody else has a story like yours. It's unique to you. And that's built upon your purpose, your core values, and your culture is all drawn into your story as you carry that through. And your story is what makes your business gold. That's what makes your business unique to anything else out there. Now we come once again to my favorite word, and I wish I had more time to spend with you to be able to really share with you in more detail. But if we think about it, the sum of the whole is greater than the individual parts. If you take a star, if you draw a star on your paper with 5 prongs, and no worries, nobody's going to be checking your art here. If you just draw a simple star, 5 prongs, you take that first prong and you write down SY, and that stands for save yourself. Then we get to the second prong, NE, next everyone else. The third prong is repeat, reevaluate, readjust, the R. Then you get to the give. The give. This is one of my favorite parts, because you can actually take your protection here, protection for your legacy. You can think of a will, a trust, a trademark for your brand. All those things come into the give so that you can later You can live it now and later leave it as a lasting legacy. Then we come to the yes, 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 the why. This is where you celebrate your small successes, which lead you up to the big success, that achieving your big goal. And then you set other goals for yourself as you move forward. So once again, save yourself, next everyone else, repeat, readjust, reevaluate, give, and yes, yes, yes. So I don't have time to focus on all of these, but I do want to say with save yourself, think about a trip you took on an airplane. There's always a safety message. The safety message says if we are in need of oxygen, if there's an emergency, put the mask on yourself first, save yourself first before you save somebody else, because you can't save somebody else if you haven't saved yourself first. The same applies to business. It's a holistic approach to business, to entrepreneurship. So I want to share with you a success story of Gabriella. Gabriella knew she wanted to start a business. She didn't have the confidence. She thought she didn't have the skill set to start her own business, and she didn't have any of the process in place. She wasn't sure what her DNA was for her business. Now I can tell you, after working with me, Gabriella is a success story. She can confidently say she started her business and continues to grow her business successfully. So imagine if you could take that business idea you wrote down today that you're passionate about, and turn it into a profitable business entity, your legacy. What does that look like for you? What does freedom look like for you? And let me ask you this, where will you be in 1 year? Well, if you don't get started, you'll be in the same spot. And I always tell people, we don't want to be like stagnant water. Stagnant water is murky and it tends to smell. We definitely don't want to be there from an entrepreneurial perspective. So where will you be in 1 year? So I hope you've taken back several pointers that you can utilize or implement immediately into your business or your journey as an entrepreneur. I want you to know that you can live a fulfilling life doing what you love while building and leaving a lasting legacy. Your unique business DNA can fast track you to realizing a profitable business, and you are the secret sauce in your business. And you add your unique story to your business. That's right. That DNA, think about that. Nobody else is like you. You are your own authentic self. So how many of you are going to need a little help with this journey? You know that you want to achieve or get to a certain destination, yet you need assistance. I know I need assistance when I want to achieve or go to a certain destination. I always use a GPS. In fact, my husband's always teasing me about that. Simplest point, simplest destination, I use a GPS. So you have 3 choices today. You can do nothing and continue to struggle by not having any of this sorted out. You can try to do it on your own, or you can fast track your journey by starting today and investing in a blueprint or guide. Remember, today is your defining moment. So what's the next step, you may be asking? Great question. I want to give you a gift. In Louisiana is where I live, and we talk a lot about lagniappe, giving that little bit extra. So I want to give you a free gift. If you go to www.cynthiagfreegift.com, you can book a free call with me, and we can discuss all those steps in the synergy piece in that star that we talked about, the 5-step launch to legacy blueprint. I've given you the high level, yet I'd love to be able to discuss the details with you. So normally the breakthrough call is $297, but because you joined today's summit, you're able to get a free call with me if you book within the next 48 hours. So if you go to www.cynthiagallardo.com, you will be able to book that free call. www.cynthiagallardo.com, and you'll be able to book that free call. I am so excited. I'd love to be able to work with you as your GPS. Thank you so much for joining today, and have a fantastic day. I'm signing off as Cynthia Gallardo, your favorite legacy lady. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic day. Bye.